Okay, we are live. Let me do this.
Our aim never disappoint, so we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show them this new power of mine. Wailing Woods is where we landed. We're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Gracie Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Wailing Woods is where we landed. We're 2 rows and next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Gracie Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a little earlier than typical, but I know everyone's going to be pretty well wrapped up in their New Year's Eve celebration. So we wanted to do this is going to be a very quick recap of 2025 Unplugged, Unfiltered. I was just going back and looking. It's pretty crazy. We've done 33 episodes.
Wow.
In 2025.
I figured if we did 2, we would have had a success.
I know.
33.
It is crazy. And one of the things that we are going to do real quick, and what we're going to kind of run through, is we're going to go over some of our top viewed things of 2025. Number one most viewed podcast. Which one would you guess was our number one most viewed podcast? Had a guest.
I'm going to. You had a guest?
Yes.
Oh, I had a guess, or we had a guest?
We had a guest.
We had a guest. So I don't know, with DeVita.
No, Mike and Cass. Mike and Cass.
Okay.
That was our number one most watched podcast of 2025, which was pretty awesome. One of the other things, so again, if you guys are following us on YouTube, if you follow us on TikTok, all of those, you'll see that our shorts have been getting more recent. I've been very but a couple of the ones that I wanted to point out, and Bob, I wanted to kind of reiterate on some of these.
I didn't know these were going to be trick questions.
No, I know
I would have prepped beforehand.
Yes. Okay. So number one most viewed: working hours won't bring more freedom. So that one got 13,000 views.
Wow.
So with that one, let's kind of reiterate. So working more hours won't bring you more freedom. What did we mean by that?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people say you got to work hard, got to work hard, got to work hard. And then some people say you got to work smart. And the reality of it is you got to work smart
yes,
and hard.
Absolutely.
And I think, again, I know a lot of dealerships that I work with, the owners spend tons of hours in there, but they're overlooking their processes and the things that they need to do, which makes them spend tons of hours in there.
Yeah.
So your ultimate goal as an entrepreneur is to let the business be a tool for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a shackle around your neck. And I think a lot of times entrepreneurs feel like I'm working hard. If I just keep working hard, it's all going to work. It won't.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's where you go back to Mike and Cass, and the shoveling shit book.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why, again, we always recommend to people buy that book.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Because again, it's not hard work. It's hard work with processes, being smart, being around other smart people.
Yeah.
That's where you got to be. Do you have to put a lot of hours in the beginning? Yes. But if you've been in the business for 2 or 3 years and you're still working yourself to death, something is wrong.
100%. And quick, again, shout out to Mike and Cass. Right now, if you're quick enough with it, and if you want to travel to New York, next week, if you go on their website right now, you have the opportunity to buy a package with their book in it. With that package, you get to sit down and have dinner with them and
Wow.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Wow.
At Gary Vaynerchuk's restaurant in New York City. So incredible opportunity. It's a priceless moment. If you go to cassandmike.com/thebook, you can get shoveling shit right there.
And I'm guessing it'll be good food and phenomenal wine.
100%. I can imagine. So number 2, the harsh reality of entrepreneurship exposed. So this goes back to shoveling a lot of shit. So this is, again, back to Cass and Mike, right, is you've got to shovel shit. I mean, as an entrepreneur, you're constantly shoveling, you're constantly working. And apparently a lot of people really felt that because we had a lot of views on that video as well. So that's our number 2. This one I'm going to throw to you. Your environment is either growing you or it's holding you. This goes back to the jelly roll kind of conversation that we had. So elaborate. What are your thoughts once again on?
Well, it goes back again, and I'm going to go back to using jelly roll because I listened to him on Joe Rogan, small old podcast.
Yeah.
Heard of. But again, I love Joe Rogan's podcast. But anyway, Jelly Roll was just talking about how he had changed himself. I mean, he was at, I think at one point 500 and some odd pounds. Now he's down to maybe 250 or whatever like this. And his whole point was, again, if you don't like who you are, then your option is to change your playground to change the people you play with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's it. As you look at it as a small business owner, I think many times you get yourself in your playground is around other small business owners who are bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining. And you and I both know there's a website or there's a Facebook group.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. For the outdoor power industry. And I cringe. I like going to it. But I also cringe because there's some really positive people that I know that are really positive on there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that are just pissed off at life and pissed off at their dealership. And so, and all they're doing is they're reaching out and they're in their playground is other dealers who hate the dealership.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so when they say something, it just feeds into the negativity of it. And I know that's in the industry you and I play in, that's it. But you've got to be around people that are positive, that are upbeat. You become your environment.
Yes.
And I think that was Jelly Roll's point is if you don't like who you are, you have to change your playground, your environment, and you have to change who you're playing with.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole point of it. I just thought it was really kind of a cool concept from Jelly Roll of the fact that, if you don't want to be a drunk and take drugs all your life, then you got to find a playground where people are drinking and taking drugs and make those people your new friends.
Absolutely. Okay. So that was number 3. Number 4, how AI transforms data into meaningful insight. And I think for me on this, again, if you are not playing with AI, if you're not using ChatGPT, if you're not using any type of an AI tool, you are missing out because what you can do with AI, especially as you feed it, as it learns off you, it takes all of that data and turns it truly into meaningful insight. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, is how I have set up my chat GPT specifically to respond to me and their preferences. If that's something you're interested in, send me a message. I will walk you through how to set up your chat to work with you in the way that you want it to work. But using AI, it transforms all of your data into truly meaningful insight. Number 4 or 5, I don't know, whatever number we're on. The next one, the boogeyman is leadership failure. So when we talked about the boogeyman effect, right, we talked about how businesses, employees, people create the boogeyman. The boogeyman is not created necessarily by the employees. It's created by the leadership. And if you have a big boogeyman system inside of your business, it's because you have not set the guidelines, you've not set the guardrails, and you allow your teams to be in full competition with each other and don't give them any meaningful data. I mean, to really, we're working together.
They're just a group of people on the playground that are all wanting to play their own game.
Yes.
And they make the rules up as they go. And part of what your job is as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a founder, is you've got to say, hey, this is the rules of the game. This is how we're going to play the game.
Yeah.
These are the people that are going to be on our team. And then the other piece, I think, Brian, is that if the people that you have don't want to be on your team, then get them off of your team.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, because I see that happen in a lot of small businesses. Well, I really can't get rid of him. He's been with me 10 years. He's been with me 15 years. I always tell my owners, my dealers, I said, guys, you've paid him for 15 years. Every time that you were supposed to pay him, he took the check gladly, right? You owe him or her nothing.
Absolutely.
Right. And they go, yeah, but they're a part of the family. This is a freaking business.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. A business is designed to do one thing, make money.
Yeah.
If your business is not making money, it's a hobby and it's one that sucks. Okay. So that's the big piece. And again, I think a lot of owners do create their own boogeyman And it's because they don't have clarity of thought. They don't
Yeah.
have clarity of direction. And if you don't have clarity of thought or direction, your people have no freaking idea what game you're playing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Next one that where you've got is why spending $70,000 on giveaway can actually, I remember what actually makes sense. So we talked about how, especially for our expos, right? If you're going to play in the big world, you got to kind of sometimes spend money to make money. And it really comes back to looking at your return on investment, your ROI, right? Is if I'm looking at it and I'm selling a $10 product, right? It probably doesn't make sense for me to do a $70,000
probably not
giveaway. But for what we're doing is each one of our customers in a 10-year lifespan is worth $350,000. So it makes sense for us to be able to do bigger giveaways because our dealers talk. The ones who are going to be using Triton, they talk to everybody. And if we can present them with, hey, this is incredible, this is great, we can get them in on it. All it's going to do is spread like wildfire.
Well, and again, you have to look at giveaways as part of your marketing budget. And I know people out there that spend more than $70,000 a year and get nothing for it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
And so I go back again, if it were me and I wanted to do some giveaways, and let's go back to, we talked several times about the little people in the city of Liberty that do honey.
Yeah.
Right. So if I want to do some giveaways, then get an active Facebook page or an active TikTok page, and then do some giveaways there. Hey, this week we're giving away this for the people that make a comment, right? If you make a negative comment, you have no chance at all of winning this. But if it's a positive comment, and then we're going to do a drawing at the end of the week for everybody that wants this $20 thing or $30 thing. Yeah. And that starts to create that momentum. So, your giveaway then becomes a part of your marketing campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Next one. If sales feel uncomfortable, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, this is a big one. And of course, I started my company as a sales training company, but I tell salespeople, your number one goal in sales is not to act like a salesperson, because people hate salespeople. Okay. I try to train salespeople, just be yourself, right? People buy from people they like and trust. If you're trying to be somebody different, you're going to come across as greasy, slick, and slimy, and people are not going to trust you. Just be comfortable with who you are.
Yeah.
You're not going to sell everybody you talk to.
Absolutely.
It's just not going to happen. You should be able to sell 30 to 40% of all the people you interact with. And again, it's just by being yourself. So I think that's the number one thing I teach salespeople is just be you.
Absolutely.
Anything that a salesperson does, run away from it as fast as you can.
And that goes on to our next sales topic that did really, really well on YouTube this year. Why objections are signals and not stop signs.
Yeah, well, again, this goes back to sales. I love sales, but I think a lot of times when people say, they hear an objection like your price is too high, cost too much, I can get it cheaper someplace else. The moment that they hear that, they see a stop sign go up instead of a yield sign.
Yeah.
Okay. And what the customer is saying is, I can get it someplace else someplace else cheaper because you haven't shown me the extra value that you add to it.
Absolutely.
I always tell people, when people come into your store, whether you're in a dealership or you're selling honey at a stand on the thing, people are there because they are interested in what you have. Nobody stops at a flower store and walk in just to see flowers. They're there for a reason. And I think, again, that if they walk away, again, it's because they had an objection that you failed to answer. If your price is too high, I always tell people, when people give you an objection, Brian, you always agree with them. Somebody said, Bob, your price is too high. I'd say, gosh, Brian, everything is too high today. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Get them to say yes to that. Shake your head. We talked about that before. Or if it's more than I want to spend, I would say, Brian, everything today is more than I want to spend. So about how much too much is it?
Yeah.
And you always kind of lead with the question. So again, I see an objection as that last part of the selling process, not a stop sign, but a yield sign. Make a little detour and come back around and you'll get to sale.
Absolutely. Next one is defining your freedom as an entrepreneur. And I think that this is something that every entrepreneur needs to do, is they need to define, what does freedom look like for them, right? Is because freedom is different for everybody. For me, it's having the time and money to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And in my business freedom for me is seeing dealers succeed with the tools that they need and the support that they deserve. So again, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, or even just as a person, right? Everyone's version of freedom is different. I saw a thing that Gary Vaynerchuk put out a couple of weeks ago. he said I've got friends who make $42,000 a year, and they are the happiest people,
Right.
because on the weekends they coach their little kids baseball things, and they do this. And freedom, it looks different to everybody. So define your own freedom. Don't let social media define your freedom for you. AI, the real trend, not a doomsday. That one got a lot of views, a lot of likes on that one. So quick, 30 seconds. Why is AI not a doomsday?
Well, again, and I'm going to go back to Joe Rogan, because I like his podcast, I listened to Elon Musk on it, and Elon Musk is going, there's an 80% of probability that AI is going to be great and going to help us, and there's 20% that it's going to kill us and take us away.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Elon, and I have a lot of respect for Elon Musk. He's brilliant. But I was also listening to the Jensen, who owns NVIDIA, and he's on the opposite side, saying, hey, it's not really something to be concerned about. AI has been growing for a long time. And the challenge with it is not the challenge with it, but the perk of it is it doesn't have an ego.
Yeah.
When people talk about AI taking over and having this doomsday scenario, he said to do that, it would need to have an ego.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what makes people want to conquer things. I have an ego. I should do this. Or should do this. And he says, he just doesn't see it happening. And I tend to lean a little bit more into his side over there. It's not a person. It's never going to be sentient, whatever that happens to me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have an ego. And then, as he said, and let's say that one does come up with some sinister plan. He said, in the future, everybody's going to have their own AI. And you and I both know this.
Yeah.
You're not going to have an Apple phone or a Samsung phone. You're going to have an AI agent in your hand.
Absolutely.
And all of that other stuff's going to go away. And so if something sinister does come up, your AI will pick it up in a billionth of a second,
100%,
as will 150 million other AI agents.
Yeah.
And so while it has this one evil thought, it'll happen in a millionth of a second, and everybody else then will block it.
Absolutely.
And take care of it. So again, I tend to lean a little bit more toward his. I don't think it doesn't have an ego. Why would it want to take over the world? What would be its purpose?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It doesn't have a need for it. So I'm going to lean a little bit more into, I don't believe it's going to take over.
So you've heard it first. AI is not taking over the world.
I don't believe so. But if it does,
you got to blame Bob.
This podcast will be the first thing it scrubs.
Yeah,
well, that was so wrong.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. Or is it going to keep it for propaganda?
It is. Yes, that's what it'll be. So you'll see the Unplugged, Unfiltered by AI. Bob told you.
Bob told you.
Right?
It's fine.
Listen to Bob.
Fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. So anyways, well, again, we're just going to do it. That was just a quick kind of fun podcast. We'll be back again next week, of course, for our typical full line podcast. But I wanted just to wrap up 2025 and again, tell everybody how thankful we are for you guys to be here for the last 33 episodes. We've been running some 24-hour live exciting streams of this on YouTube. So if you've ever missed an episode and you want to go back, whether you're on our TikTok, we've got our TikTok stream is up and finally working correctly again. But whether you're on TikTok or Facebook, Instagram, check out our YouTube channel. It's got all of our videos. We will have it back up live streaming, all of them, because who doesn't want 24 hours of us talking?
Me, I would not want that. If you do 24 hours of this nonstop, you need psychiatric treatment.
Exactly.
I'm just telling you.
So, but with that, again, as we kind of go into 2026, I want to encourage you, if you've ever thought about being an entrepreneur, now is the best time to do it. There's never been a better time. The tools, the resources, the AI, it gives you the ability to build a business quicker than we've ever seen it in history. So if you're thinking about it, do it.
It's never been easier to become an entrepreneur than it is right now. 2026 is going to be, I think, a storm and great year.
Yeah.
I really do.
Oh yeah. So with that, again, we're going to let you guys go. We just wanted to hop on here, say hi, show you our appreciation for every watch, every view, every hour. I mean, we're sitting for the total year. I mean, we've got hundreds and hundreds of hours of people watching it, which is sad, but
so sad.
But we do appreciate all of it. We appreciate you guys. And we will see you in 2026 with some new exhilarating Unplugged, Unfiltered. So thank you guys so much. And we will catch you next year. We can officially say that we will catch you next year. So thanks everybody. We'll see you next year.
never disappoint. So we have coincidentally stumbled on a legendary. Wait until they see us now, waiting for the opportune time to show them this new power of mine. Wailing Woods is where we landed. We're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're taking down all of those who oppose. Gracie Grove will soon be upon us. Katie Hike, we're sitting on the battle bus. We're closing in and we'll soon claim victory. Wailing Woods is where we landed. We're 2 rows, the next to be commended. We're